Alvarez knocked out Sergey Kovalev to go and capture the WBO Light Heavyweight Championship belt. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Remstar Says So. Alright then, so let's get into this one, guys. It's a tricky one for me still. I can't actually lie. I'm going to have to call foul play on this one. Canelo Alvarez moved up from 160 to 175. I know he had that one fight with Rocky Fielding, which was an absolute disgrace for the WBA regular, but, you know, he hasn't actually had another fight at 168. So he went back down to 160, jumps up 2 weight classes, and he knocks out Sergey Kovalev. This is the same Sergey Kovalev who just knocked out Anthony Yarde with a jab 3.5 months prior. And Canelo Alvarez goes up 15 pounds, looks like he's absolutely shredded, not an ounce of fat on him, and he goes out and knocks out Sergey Kovalev. Yes, I understand that Sergey Kovalev is nowhere near the competitor that he used to be, and yes, I understand that Canelo Alvarez is probably 10 times better than Anthony Yarde is. I understand all of those variables, I definitely do, but the fact is, you know, to go up there and just take all of his punches and just lay him out in the 11th round, it was a little bit strange. Also, when you look at that fight, when you really dive deep into that fight, Sergey Kovalev wasn't throwing the right hand. He was double jabbing, he was triple jabbing, then he was easing off. Sergey Kovalev, in my opinion, he got maybe his 10 million that he got, and then maybe Oscar De La Hoya came to his dressing room an hour before the fight and delivered a brown envelope with some more tax-free money. I don't know, but what I do know is I think that fight was fucking fixed. I'm just going to say it. Like, I don't give a fuck. This video is coming out probably 2 or 3 weeks after the fight actually happened. And, you know, every other YouTuber has jumped down this one, praising Canelo Alvarez, talking about how they believe that Alvarez is... Talking about how Alvarez is the greatest thing since sliced bread, calling him a 4-weight world champion. He's not a fucking 4-weight world champion. The WBA regular is not a world championship belt, in my opinion. So for me, Canelo Alvarez is a 3-weight world champion. Until he goes back down to 168 and knocks off one of the real world champions, I can't call him a champion. If he wants to show that he's a real bad man, tell him to go fight Callum Smith in it. If you're a real fucking G, go and fight Callum Smith, and then we'll see what you're made of. And if you can knock out Callum Smith, then, you know, I'll give him all of his props and accolades. But yeah, let's get back to this one, guys. Madness. So Canelo Alvarez puts on 15 pounds and looks like he's still fighting at 160. So, you know, you're going up 15 pounds. You don't look fat at all. In fact, you could say that he looked like he was in better shape. And some people's going to be like, oh, but Remstar, what you need to understand is that Canelo walks around at 190. I don't care. I don't care. Because when Canelo walks around at 190 pounds or 200 or 210 or whatever the fuck it is that he walks around when he's out of competition, Canelo Alvarez looks fatter and whatnot. His optimal fight weight will be probably the 160 pounds. So for me, yes, he might have shed weight, but I just don't think that for Canelo to stay in shape to get down to 175 is realistic. Like, let's be honest, Canelo Alvarez has been busted for drugs cheating before. You know, he had that clenbuterol shit in his system when he was going to fight GGG a second time, I believe. And him and Oscar De La Hoya went on this tirade talking about how it was some tainted meat. The only thing is that if you know Canelo Alvarez, he's known to be probably 80 to 90% of the time vegetarian. But you're going to tell me that a multi-millionaire, the guy with the biggest contract in sports, who's supposed to be a vegetarian 80 to 90% of the time, was just driving through Mexico, saw some little back street food street seller, and thought to himself, man, I need a taco, Holmes. That didn't fucking happen. We know what he's about. We know what he's been doing. But because his name is Canelo Alvarez, people just want to be throwing, turning a blind eye time and time and time again. Me, I ain't going to do that. As I've told you guys a million times before, my YouTube channel is not monetized. I don't have a Patreon. I don't have a Cash App. I don't have PayPal or anything like that. I don't make any money off of this. And because of that, because this channel is solely made just off the fact that I like to record myself chatting shit about boxing, I can say what I want to because, you know, I'm not making money off of this like everybody else. I don't have to fall into line. You're never going to see me following around Eddie Hearn with a fucking camera and like some microphone guy begging for interview. I'm not about that life. I know a couple of guys in the industry and I'm not even fucking interviewing them. Like, to me, this is a hobby. If I ever get paid from YouTube, it'll be a fucking miracle. But I don't think I ever will, because this is a real boxing channel for people who, you know, want to diverge and want to sort of skim away that media bullshit and that friendly laughing on IFL, doing anything for a view sort of hype. This is a boxing channel where it's just me. I'm just recording myself, giving my honest opinion, and if you like it, great, and if you don't, well, you know, there's other channels out there. Do you see what I mean? Like, coming into this fight, Canelo Alvarez got his regular $35 million purse, and Kovalev got $3 million. So, you know, is that record money for Kovalev? I don't know. I'm sure he got a little bit more on the back end as well. But what can I say? From what I've been told, Kovalev was probably up on the scorecards before the stoppage, but it just looked like a weak stoppage. He got banged in his face twice and hit the ground. I mean, I think the fight was fixed. That's my honest, humble opinion. If it wasn't fixed, then whatever. But in my opinion, it was. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Don't really give too much of a shit, to be fair. I'm just having a look at the fight now. So it was broadcast in DAZN in many countries. I think over here in England it was on Sky Sports. New Zealand it was on Sky Arena. I mean, it was a global event, and I'm sure both of these guys got some money on the back end. I'm pretty sure about that. But yeah, what do I think? I just think that Kovalev weren't doing much. He was just trying to control the fight. He wanted to go to the deep waters, and I'm pretty sure he probably got a few brown envelopes to take a dive. I don't think that Kovalev was finished. I mean, if you look at the Kovalev that absolutely battered Anthony Yarde back in August, and you look at this shell of a man, maybe you could argue that he was tired and he hadn't recovered from that Yarde battle, but I think he just threw the fight. I think the fight was fixed. I really just don't think that Canelo Alvarez really had what it took to go in there and just destroy him. I mean, time will tell. Let's see what Canelo does. Does he stay at 175? Does he go back down to 168? Is he going to go back to 160 and fight Golovkin for the trilogy? I don't know. But Kovalev, if he really did swing this fight and took a dive, he's just a pussy. He is a weak ass pussy. Like, I don't understand why you would do that. You're supposed to be a world champion. Doesn't matter how much money somebody offers you. But yeah, looking at that fight, I think it was fixed. I think it was staged. And I don't know. But then again, when you look at the 175 division, off the back of that performance, I think Canelo beats Bivol. I mean, I'd like to see Canelo go and fight Bertabiev, but as long as Bertabiev isn't easily swung by a paycheck, I think Bertabiev would get him out there. I just think that he'd be too strong, too powerful. But, you know, that's a fight I'd love to see. And if they had to stick it on pay-per-view in the UK, I'd probably pay for it as well, because that's a pay-per-view worthy fight. But yeah, I just think this fight was fucking fixed, mate. Like, that's my humble, honest opinion. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think it was fixed? Do you think Canelo was just that much better than Kovalev, do you think it was a bit of the fatigue of Kovalev getting back into the ring so soon after the Anthony Yard fight? Anyway, let me know your comments. Drop me a comment in the comment box. Hit like, hit subscribe. Anyway, guys, don't forget to press that bell icon. You'll get notified every time I make a video. And share this video as well. Send it to your friends. Let them know. Let's get their thoughts in it. Let's grow this channel a bit. Let's get a few more subscribers. I've been going long enough. I need a few more of you guys to hit subscribe. I know I get a lot of viewers from various countries. I was looking at the reach on my YouTube a little bit earlier today. So I know that there's people from various countries tuning in and watching whenever I drop a video. Maybe hit subscribe. The more subscribers, the more viewership I get, and the more reach this channel gets, and we're going to get more people in the comments and, you know, people sort of giving their opinions and whatnot. But yeah, that's just my 5 pence worth. That's the end of the show because Remstar says so.